Think back to the very last thing you ate. You likely picked it for the taste or the convenience, but do you know what it actually did to your internal biology the moment you swallowed? Clinical data shows that 88% of Americans are living with dysregulated glucose levels. They are experiencing internal cellular damage and hormonal crashes every day, and the vast majority have no idea. It is possible to eat the pasta, the bread, and the desserts you love while shedding weight and keeping your energy levels perfectly steady. Achieving this doesn't require starvation or obsessive calorie counting. It depends entirely on the specific order and combination of your meals. Identifying and controlling glucose spikes, rapid surges of sugar in your bloodstream, is the primary mechanism for stabilizing your metabolism, helping stop premature aging and end afternoon fatigue. The most effective way to manage these spikes is to eat the components of your meal in a specific, intentional sequence. You start with fiber, typically vegetables, followed by proteins and fats, and you save the starches and sugars for the very end. When fiber enters an empty stomach first, it physically coats the walls and creates a viscous mesh. When the carbohydrates follow, that mesh forces the sugars to filter slowly into your bloodstream, instead of rushing in all at once. Researchers at Cornell University found that eating the identical meal in this specific order reduces the overall glucose spike by 73% and the insulin spike by nearly half. Take Bernadette, who used this food order hack to lose 9 pounds and resolve her chronic insomnia in just a few weeks without cutting a single calorie. By sequencing your plate, you create an internal biological filter. You turn potentially damaging carbohydrates into a source of slow-release energy, preventing the roller coaster crash that usually follows a meal. If you snack between meals, there is one rule: it must be savory, never sweet. Eating sugar on an empty stomach triggers a violent glucose spike. Because there is no fiber or protein present to buffer the absorption, your body is forced to release a massive amount of insulin to manage the surge. This rapid correction causes a glucose crash, which suppresses your fullness hormones. This cycle guarantees you'll feel severe hunger and zero energy just 2 hours later. When Jessie Inchauspé tracked her own data after eating a donut on an empty stomach, her glucose shot up to 180 milligrams per deciliter. That specific spike immediately triggered intense brain fog and a state of psychological depersonalization. Sweet snacks are a form of false energy. They provide a temporary high while actively stealing your future physical and mental focus. When you do decide to eat something sweet, you can use a data-backed protocol to mitigate the internal damage. First, drink a glass of water with apple cider vinegar before eating the dessert. Second, engage your muscles for a few minutes immediately after you're finished. Vinegar slows down the enzymes that break sugar into glucose, while moving your body allows muscles to immediately burn off the excess sugar entering your bloodstream. We can see the difference in the data. A standalone cookie creates a massive, unmitigated glucose spike that stresses your entire system. But when that same cookie is bookended by vinegar and light exercise, like 50 squats, the glucose curve is significantly flattened. You don't have to ban desserts. You can biologically armor your body against their effects with a few minutes of strategic movement. For decades, we've been told that health is simply a mathematical equation of calories in, calories out. But the science of glucose proves that calories are not the defining metric. 2 plates with the exact same 1,000 calories will have entirely different effects on your health. If you eat the starch first, you spike. If you eat the fiber first, you stay stable. The calories are the same, but the metabolic outcome is not. Ignoring these spikes leads to glycation, a process where excess sugar damages collagen fibers, actively accelerating physical aging and the formation of wrinkles. Flattening your glucose curve is the most direct path to stabilizing your hormones, clearing your skin, and maintaining constant energy. Your body is constantly communicating through hunger and fatigue. Once you learn to manage the glucose lever, you can eat the foods you love without paying the biological price.